Welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, it's over finally with Gimenez. Forest in for a 20 million striker swoop. Matt Turner is stuck in limbo right now, and Forest linked with Nuamah from Lyon. All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. We got a lot yet again to tell you guys about. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and go grab your tickets for the latest Forest Football Prize giveaway. And they are giving away this signed Forest shirt. But for me, the better prize is the Insta wins. If you hit ticket 100 or 200 or 225, you instantly win one of the new kits from this season. So go try your luck and see if you can get it. The link's pinned in the comments, or you can scan this QR code. All right, so let's do this, and probably for the final time, let's talk about Santiago Giménez, the money merchant. There, I've said it. Let me give you the update. So it was reported today that a delegate had been sent out from Forest to go to Rotterdam or anywhere, Liverpool or Rome. Anyway, and they were going to talk to Gimenez and his stupid dad, who is his agent. And he's the one who's really been pulling the strings on this. And Forest were going to offer him more money. Forest were going to offer him a percentage of the transfer fee. And Forest were going to seduce him. I don't know how, but they were. Answers down below in the comments. And apparently this has now happened. And still Forest wanted him. Marinakis or Nuno or Forest as a whole still see him as their number one target. As we mentioned to you yesterday, that Romano had said this. But now I can tell you that this is over. Because Romano's just tweeted to say that Santiago Gimenez has informed Nottingham Forest about his decision to definitely reject their proposal. Deal now off again. It's almost like a bit of relief, to be honest. It almost feels like you've been constipated for the last 2 weeks and you've finally been able to go to the loo, get it out, and then there's that relief moment. Because Forest have other options. They have better options, in my opinion. I think, look, I wanted Gimenez over Nketiah just by de facto and default of not wanting Eddie. But he was never my number one choice. I've got receipts on that. He's good. But come on, this is now taking the mick. So Forest will be moving on from Gimenez. They have to. I swear to God, if I see another report saying Forest have sent by special delivery, a courier to give him flowers overnight, 12 roses, 2 dozen roses, whatever it is, I'm going to lose my crap with this one. Message to Forest now. He doesn't want us, man. Let it go. Let it go. Plenty more fish in the sea and all that. And there are better options. In fact, the option we're going to move on to in just a second, for me, is better than Gimenez. So that's the update on Gimenez. Hopefully that's the last time I have to say his name. So unanimously, let us say his name one more time before we close the book on this prick. Santiago Gimenez, do one. Okay, so this one's coming from John Percy, and he's put it out today in his article. And this is for Omar Marmoush from Frankfurt. And don't you dare tell me I can't pronounce his name, because it's Arabic, man. I can pronounce it. Okay, he said, Forest are targeting a new signing of a new striker before Friday's transfer deadline. Well, breaking news. With Frankfurt's Omar Marmoush emerging as a potential option. Forest have made a move for the Egyptian international and are battling to complete a £20 million package as they intensify their search for a striker. And then he goes on to give some stats about him, 17 goals in all competitions, blah, blah, blah. This one I really like, okay? One, because I can say his name really easily. And secondly, because he is an interesting profile of a striker. Now, usually what I'd like to do for you guys is like match him up to someone, pigeonhole him to give you guys a rough idea of what he's like. Can't really pinpoint him to anyone for you. Apart from he's pacey, he's good in the box, he's got good link-up play for me, and he's now coming into his prime. He's obviously been with Salah in the Egyptian international team, and he's starting to emerge as that new leader, the person who's going to take the mantle off Mohamed Salah when he retires or stops playing internationally. And that's what the Egyptians have him down as well. So in terms of his stats, he's scored, let's have a quick look for you here. He's played 31 times for Egypt and he scored 5 goals. For Frankfurt, he's had 41 appearances and got 17 goals. Now, before this, he was at Wolfsburg, which is where I saw a lot of him as, because Wolfsburg were my favorite team for League SBCs on FIFA. But anyway, that's besides the point. So he went from Wolfsburg to Frankfurt on a free. Now, he was linked to the likes of Arsenal, I think Liverpool, Spurs, the big 6 teams, a little bit back. And they were talking about values of 50 to 60 million for him. And he hasn't like dropped off the face of the earth or suddenly become shit or anything like that. He's still, in my eyes, very good and very competent. And also the other thing to add, excuse me, the other thing to add on this one is that for those who are worried about Dutch league strikers and all that stuff, he's coming from Bundesliga, which I think is one of the better leagues, right? So if you're one of these freaking ant style look down at other leagues and call them farmer leagues, then I don't think you can do that as much so, because I really do believe the Bundesliga is very similar to the Premier League in terms of their style and play and the pace of it and so on. So this one I actually quite like. And he's a lot cheaper. Now, his valuation is about 20 to 25 million euros. So Forest are talking about 20 million, which isn't a million miles off. And Frankfurt would probably be willing to deal on him. And I think he would love a move into the Premier League as well. So this one, I am very interested in. In fact, I'm probably going to go as far as to say I'd prefer it over Gimenez. He's not a striker that I thought would be on the market this summer, and now he is. If Forest can do it, yes, there is that smell of panic in it, lastminute.com and what have you, but honestly guys, I think he fits into the Premier League very, very well. Get your thoughts on Omar. What do you think of him? Would you take him at Forest or not? For those of you who do watch the Bundesliga, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's talk about crypto's favorite player, Matt Turner, and give you the latest on him very quickly. Now, he is up on the bomb squad. He is looking, well, Forest are looking to move him on. And Matt Turner is desperate now to leave. Well, desperate's probably too strong a word. But he needs to leave to get first team football because he still wants to lock down his position in the USA team in terms of the international position. Now, he's got major issues. He's almost come to like this impasse where he's stuck because the only offers that have come in for him have been loan offers. And Forest don't want to do a loan deal on Matt Turner. They want to recoup back as much of that money as they can on a permanent offer. So they've been rejecting these loan offers that have come through and are holding out for a perm. Now, the other problem Turner's got is the USA market, the MLS, and the Canadian League as well. Their transfer windows are currently closed. So he's got no move across that side of the pond. So he's now in a position where he's got until Friday for his agent to find him a new club and for it to be a permanent deal. Now, I still don't think if a club were to come in on a loan deal and then offer an option to buy or an obligation to buy, that Forest would say no to it. I think something like that would probably still work for Forest if we could get his wages off the book, if we have potentially a guarantee of a sale next summer. And actually that probably would be better because the amortization on that would mean Forest are in a stronger position. So Matt Turner, you got two days, son. Thursday, Friday. Sort yourself out, get on the phone to the agent, you're going to need to move. Now, does this mean Forest are going to get a new keeper or not is still the other question. We've been linked heavily with Ramsdale, Sam Johnson. It looks like Sam Johnson's on his way, I think, to Wolves. But Southampton are starting to strike a deal for Aaron Ramsdale from Arsenal. And I'm kind of hoping, and by the way, there's no links currently to Forest doing any hijack on this, but I'm hoping they do. I think Ramsdale's perfect for us. Him or Kelleher for me, slot in straight at number 1. Matt Sells had a decent start to the Premier League, there's no denying that. But just notching that level up and locking down that keeper position, because Matt Sells isn't exactly as young as me anymore. He's not in his 20s, he's in his 30s now. So long term, he may not be the solution. But Ramsdale could be. Kelleher for me would be. And Sam Johnson looks like he's off the table now, and I didn't want him anyway. So, keeper position still up in the air. There's no links. Let me just reiterate. There's no links right now to Forest making a move for a keeper. I think the priority right now is to sort out the striker. Now, there is the other link that we told you about from Brazil with Andre the Non-Giant. That's getting stronger now, and Forest will be battling Wolves for it. They see him as a great player. I agree with them. They see him as potentially a bit of a bargain this summer. I agree with that as well. So it'll be between Forest and Wolves, it looks like, to get Andre the Non-Giant into the Premier League. That hasn't fully started to develop, but I'm hearing noises about it now, so just want to bring it to you guys. So get your thoughts in on all of that down below. All right, so let's move on to another transfer link, and this one is weird, man, because it's nearly as weird as the films from back in the day from Ernest, but this is Ernest Nuamah. Now, he currently plays his football at Lyon. Bear with me on this. Before that, he was with them last year on loan. He got loaned out from the Belgium club, who are owned by the same owners as Lyon. So it's a bit like a Forest Olympiacos situation here. Now, when he was loaned out, there was an option to buy about 25 mil pounds, which is about 29 million euros, which got triggered by Lyon this summer. And they've purchased him. Now, while he was at Lyon, he played 12 appearances. He got 3 goals for them. And now Lyon are in a bit of a financial mess. By the way, Lyon, thanks again for sorting us out. Niakate and Mangala. By the way, Mangala's going to Everton. What's going on with Lyon? So as you can see, just as I mentioned with the Mangala situation, Lyon are in a bit of financial trouble. And they are open to the idea of letting him go. Now, Forest are apparently interested, and so are Everton. Everton right now have only got one number in their phone book, and that's Lyon, because of what they're doing with Mangala. But who is he? And what's he like? Now, very limited exposure we've seen of him. But again, to pigeonhole him to a player, for me, he reminds me a little of a stronger Nonto from Leeds. He's a winger, really like low center of gravity. He's about 5'10", a great dribbler, has a lot of potential. I don't think he's even filled out to what he's going to yet in terms of like into his body. And he's okay at shooting, but for me, it's his dribbling and his pace that is phenomenal. But do we need another winger? Now, Lyon are going to have to try and recoup as much of this money as they can, unless, of course, they try to loan him out with a loan fee to cover off the amortization and to cover off his wages, etc. There have been interests as well in him from some Saudi clubs, but he has stated that he doesn't want to go to Saudi. Now, why am I bringing this to you? Because this one could be interesting. This could be Lyon coming back to Forest and saying, remember Mangala? Remember Niakate? Remember how we sorted you guys out? Well, we need help now. Return the favour. Time to call in that favour. So I don't feel that this would suit Forest. He is definitely one of those ones you would want in your club and probably break into the team in a year or two's time and would be brilliant. But I just think this might have a little PSR partiness to the back of it. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Now, the links aren't really that strong and everything, but it's an interesting one to see. And we're going to see a lot of these over the next couple of days as the transfer window closes. And we'll get under it and filter it all out and see what becomes true or not. But get your thoughts in on this one. It's a weird transfer in a weird situation with Lyon right now. But thanks again, Lyon, for sorting us out. Now, don't forget as well, Forest are playing tonight against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. We'll have the watch along for you from about 7:45 tonight. So if you're not going, make sure you tune in and chat to the rest of the Reds in the chat. Looking forward to that one tonight. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. Go grab your tickets for the football prizes giveaway. And we'll see you tonight. Come on, you Reds.